Alright guys, so the first reactions for The Little Mermaid are in. I haven't looked at them yet. Cautiously optimistic because I'm gonna be real with y'all. Halle looks great. The music sounds great. I don't know, that Kiss the Girl song sounded a little odd, but at the same time, I think Halle looks awesome. The fish and Sebastian though, don't look great. Scuttle, Flounder, they look super weird. So I'm excited to dive into these reactions, but hey, go ahead and dive into that comment section. Let me know your thoughts about The Little Mermaid and hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Let's check out the reactions for The Little Mermaid and see what people are saying. Let's do it. All right, guys, so let's start out with this one by Jermaine Lucier, who says it's real simple. Are you excited for The Little Mermaid? You'll like it if you're excited. It's exactly what you think it is. Are you skeptical and worried about it? That's valid too. It looks weird and disjointed. Bailey is great, McCarthy rules, the songs work, but it just feels so unnecessary. And I think that's how a lot of us feel about the live action ones in general. I mean, I know from The Lion King, y'all, I got out of that and I was like, So I get it. I understand Little Mermaid fans are cautiously optimistic about this one. Actually maybe cautiously not so optimistic about this one, but let's move on to the next one. Big Screen Leak says The Little Mermaid is fantastic. Rob Marshall's great direction gives us one of Disney's best live action remakes and a joyful theatrical experience. Halle Bailey is perfect as Ariel and is the heart of the movie. It's an enchanting journey under the sea. I can't wait to rewatch. Okay, so that's nice to hear. You know, listen, most of these Disney live action remakes are not great. I loved Cruella. I loved a couple of the other ones, Beauty and the Beast. But honestly, most of them have not been great. Lion King was rough. Y'all remember that Pinocchio crap? I mean, it has been a tough ride, but to hear that this is one of the better ones, that's a plus. Let's move on. Zoe Rose Bryant, one of my favorite critics, says The Little Mermaid is a live action remake that retains the heart and soul of the story we know and love, and it's elevated even further by a note-perfect star-making performance for Halle Bailey. She was born to be on the big screen, and she's why this new take is worth watching, which that's what I was really hoping for, a strong performance by Halle. Sounds like this is a career-defining performance for her, which will launch a career into acting for her, I'm sure. I'm so excited to see the singing, so excited to see her, so excited for young Black girls to have a young Black princess that they can look up to, guys. Let's continue. Fico Kengiano says, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but he says get ready to be swept away because The Little Mermaid is actually quite wonderful. Halle Bailey is amazing, Melissa McCarthy rocks, and Jonah Hauer-King is delightful as Prince Eric. Music and singing are aces. Adored the Sebastian and Scuttle banter duo. Okay, that's good to know. They just look weird. Maybe they at least have some expressive voices because Jesus, The Lion King, they were phoning it in. But we're hearing some good stuff about Melissa McCarthy too, so it sounds like she's a great Ursula, guys. Let's keep it moving. Scott Menzel says, it brings me no joy to report that The Little Mermaid is very mediocre. While the music is still great, this live action version lacks Disney magic. Oh, and he says -2 of the new songs. Okay, so there's some new stuff. The performances are fine with Melissa McCarthy being the standout. The iconic sea characters like Flounder and Sebastian just didn't work for me at all. And don't get me started on Awkwafina as Scuttle. In terms of look, the color, temperature, and lighting drove me absolutely nuts pretty much throughout. Too much of the film is dark and mucky. Also, there's far too much CGI and most of the underwater scenes just looked bad. That being said, the under the sea scene is great and the film as a whole is a big step up from the live action Lion King. Okay, so he's saying, my man Scott, much appreciated, Scott. Shout out my man, HCA love you, man. But man, he's saying that it is mediocre, but it's at least a step up from The Lion King. But yeah, that was one thing I saw in the trailers. I had noticed it didn't look well lit. It really did not look well lit. It looked dark, and even this photo in his tweet looks a little bit like brightened. Like it looks like it was put in post and brightened up, guys. But let's continue. This is coming from Lyra Hale, who says, as someone who has never loved The Little Mermaid, the new version with Halle Bailey makes small but significant changes that give you a new appreciation for Ariel and her journey. Still the same heart, just new eyes. For her, for Eric, for the romance, and it works. Okay, Another positive one, PLC Culture says, I got to see The Little Mermaid. Halle Bailey is magnificent as Ariel. She's radiant, charming, and every bit of a Disney princess. Bailey absolutely nails every musical number and carries a very entertaining film. Looks like we got a couple more tweets to follow up here. David Diggs steals the show as Sebastian. Okay. It's not an easy role, but he pulled it off with some excellent comedic timing. Sebastian and Awkwafina's Scuttle are amazing together and add much needed levity to the story. I could watch a whole film with these two. On the other hand, Flounder, King Triton, and even Ursula weren't my favorites. Really hope for more from Ursula in particular. She looked incredible, but the characterization was a bit flat. Okay, so maybe a no on the Ursula. Don't even worry about internet whining about color or sound. It looks and sounds fantastic. Great use of strategic lighting underwater, bright and joyful in parts, and dark and foreboding in others. Okay, so it sounds like a balance of the lighting in the underwater scenes, because especially that GIF looks a lot brighter. So I'm hoping we get some bright scenes. But moving on to my final one for the night, we've got Michael Lee. I am Michael J. Lee. By the way, shout out PLC Culture and Michael J. Lee. You guys are great. The Little Mermaid can be an enchanting reimagining that expands upon the story of the animated original with modern themes. It's romantic and full of musical joy, even if it's slightly overstuffed. If anything, Halle Bailey carries the film entirely with her performance. Holy crap. Okay, so it sounds like a lot of love for Halle Bailey, which is exactly what I was wanting, guys. I really want a great Black Little Mermaid, and I'm so glad that it sounds like we got that. Some people loved Ursula, some not so much. It sounded like the lighting worked at times, maybe not at others. Guys, I'm looking forward to it. Listen, I'm still very cautious about this one. You know what happened with Quantumania. We had some very good takes, and it ended up not being that great to me. And then with the Mario Brothers movie, we had some great takes, and then Rotten Tomatoes came out, and it was at like a 50-something. So we're gonna have to wait and see how this one does. But guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Are you looking forward to the new Little Mermaid? Because, man, I gotta say, I'm looking forward to it, and I really hope it is successful. It just, the animals don't look great, but it sounds like the voice performances really help elevate that. So I'm hoping that this is a win for a live action Disney movie. Guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And hey, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below, and we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.